Soft piano plays. Rain taps against glass. A courtroom stands silent. Narrator, calm, tense tone. The wealthy CEO smirked from across the courtroom. His suit screamed power, his voice dripped arrogance. Men like you, he sneered, don't belong in boardrooms. You belong fixing my car. The single dad, his hands trembling, looked up, not with anger, but with quiet strength. He had no lawyer, no allies, just truth, and in the next 5 minutes, that truth would destroy the billionaire's empire. Cut to black, heartbeat fades out. Title appears, title card. Single dad shamed by wealthy CEO. The courtroom twist that stunned everyone. Meet Daniel Reed. A 38-year-old single father of one. His hands were calloused from years of honest work, auto mechanic by day, delivery driver by night. He wore thrift store shirts and shoes that had seen better days, but behind his tired eyes lived something unshakable: integrity. Soft acoustic guitar plays. Visual, Daniel tucking his daughter, Emily, into bed. Emily, whispering, "Daddy, when I grow up, I'll buy you a big garage so you don't have to fix cars in the cold." Daniel, smiling softly, "You just grow up kind, sweetheart. That's all I want." His life revolved around her, Emily, age 8, curious and bright, always asking questions about the stars. Then there was Victor Sterling, the CEO of Sterling Motors, one of the biggest car corporations in the state. Tailored suits. Silver hair. A smile that hid greed. He believed wealth was proof of worth, and poverty a sign of failure. The two men lived in the same city, but in two different worlds. Daniel once worked for Sterling Motors, a small-time mechanic in their service division. He wasn't rich, but he was gifted. He'd developed a fuel efficiency modification, something that could save millions for the company and help the planet. But when he showed it to Victor Sterling, the CEO laughed. Victor, cold chuckle, "A man like you inventing something groundbreaking? Don't insult me. Stick to changing oil." Days later, Daniel was fired. No explanation. No severance. Just gone. 3 months after that, Sterling Motors filed a patent, Daniel's design. He was robbed. And he couldn't afford to fight back. Visual, Daniel staring at the patent paperwork, shaking hands, whispering to himself. Daniel, to himself, "It's okay. Emily needs you strong. One day, truth will speak louder." But that day came sooner than anyone expected. A year later, Daniel took a part-time job as a chauffeur. Irony, twisted fate. He was hired to drive Victor Sterling himself to court meetings and board dinners. Victor didn't recognize him. To him, all help looked the same. Victor, grinning into his phone, "Some people work for greatness. Others just work for tips." Daniel said nothing. His silence was his dignity. But one evening, as Daniel opened the car door for Victor's gala, a guest spilled champagne on Victor's shoes. Victor, furious, "Watch where you're going, idiot." He turned to Daniel, "Clean this mess up. That's your level anyway." Guests laughed. Cameras flashed. Daniel bent down, wiped the champagne quietly. His daughter's words echoed in his mind, "Be kind, Daddy. Always be kind." He smiled faintly, rose, and said, "Daniel, you're right, sir. I do clean up messes. Some bigger than others." Victor ignored him. But that calm tone would haunt him later. Weeks passed. Sterling Motors' empire started to crack. Faulty engines. Lawsuits. Investor panic, and then came the lawsuit that brought them to court. Daniel's invention had malfunctioned in production. The patent rights were under question. Ownership was being challenged. Victor, arrogant as ever, attended court to defend his creation. Daniel was subpoenaed as a witness. When he walked into that courtroom in his worn jacket, whispers filled the air. The CEO rolled his eyes. Victor, "Oh look, the janitor wants justice now." But Daniel didn't speak right away. He simply placed a folder on the table, neat, thick, filled with papers. "Judge, Mr. Reed, do you have something to present?" Daniel, "Yes, Your Honor. Ownership documents. And stock acquisition papers." Confused murmurs rippled across the room. Victor frowned. "Victor, stock acquisition? From what?" Daniel smiled. Calmly. Daniel, from Sterling Motors. He opened the folder. Inside were signed transfer documents, sealed months ago. The struggling company's shares, sold quietly when their stock crashed, all legally purchased by Reed Technologies, a small holding company under Daniel's name. The courtroom went silent. Judge, shocked, Mr. Reed, are you saying you now own majority shares of Sterling Motors? Daniel nodded. Daniel, yes, Your Honor. I own 52%. The audience gasped. Cameras clicked. Victor's face turned pale. Victor, whispering, you're bluffing, Daniel. No, sir. You taught me that people like me should know our place. So I did. I learned. I built my own. Flashback montage rolls. Daniel working nights in his garage, investing small profits, creating prototypes, buying falling shares piece by piece, quietly building Reed Technologies. His invention wasn't just stolen, it became the seed of his empire. Daniel, softly, you took what wasn't yours. I simply took back what was mine. The judge ordered a recess. The world outside buzzed. Mechanic becomes CEO's boss. After the trial, Victor Sterling approached Daniel in the hallway. His voice broke for the first time. Victor, how did you manage all this? Daniel, quietly, by doing what you never did, Victor. I believed in people, not power. He handed Victor a folder. Inside was a proposal, a restructuring plan to save Sterling Motors, saving jobs, not egos. Daniel, I could have let your company die. But thousands of families depend on it. So I'm giving it a second chance. Not for you, for them. Victor looked down, ashamed. For the first time, the rich man felt poor in soul. Months later, Sterling Motors merged with Reed Technologies. Daniel became CEO, but he still drove the same old car, still picked Emily up from school every day, still helped neighbors fix their engines for free. When asked how it felt to own the company that once humiliated him, he simply said, Daniel, success isn't about revenge. It's about redemption. Visual, Daniel and Emily watching the sunset from a garage rooftop. Emily points at the clouds. Emily, Daddy, you fixed your biggest engine ever. Daniel, smiling, maybe, sweetheart. Maybe I just fixed my heart. Fade out. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more stories of kindness. And if you've ever experienced a moment like this, share it in the comments. Your words might inspire someone else.